I was discussing important cooperation matters with a client in the VIP lounge of the exclusive club when uninvited guests barged in. It turned out to be my wife and her company's male assistant. With unsteady gait, she was practically leaning her entire body against that male assistant. Before I could even ask what was happening, my wife preemptively accused. "You've been stalking us, haven't you? I'm just his supervisor." My client tried to defend me briefly, but my wife and her assistant actually unleashed furious criticism towards him without any courtesy. This cooperation opportunity nearly collapsed completely. I decided to terminate this sham marriage. Only after learning this news did my wife's family seem to realize the severity of the situation, starting to beg everywhere, hoping to salvage things. "Brother Lin, you know so many people in this industry, but remain just a sales department manager. Even I think that's quite unfair. If you're willing to join us, we'll definitely reserve the position of Greater China Regional President for you." In a private room at Jinxiu Pavilion Club, the guest raised his glass to clink with mine again, clearly showing full sincerity. "I need to think about it first." I raised my glass with a smile and said, "Manager Liu, let's focus on getting this order contract settled first. Once this export order is sorted out, I can finally relax and take a break. There are some matters that need to be cleared up during this holiday break." At that moment, the door was pushed open abruptly. "This is Ming Jiao. Manager Ming, can't your Jinxiu Pavilion even spare a single room for him?" The person who entered was a tall young man, quite handsome in appearance but dressed a bit too flamboyantly. The woman in his arms was none other than my wife, Ming Jiao. She had clearly drunk a lot, swaying unsteadily, with her arms tightly wrapped around the man's waist. The man's name was Yang Zhong, originally an assistant at Ming Jiao's Inshu studio. "Lin Mu, what are you doing here?" Yang Zhong asked with a hint of challenge in his tone after seeing me. "We were discussing work matters." I responded with a smile, speaking calmly without any change in expression. A good businessman should learn to control his emotions, even when potentially facing betrayal. The rumors had been circulating for some time. After all, the company had previously awarded Yang Zhong a Maserati for some vague reason. I'd confronted Mingzhou about it before, telling her to just come clean if she'd truly fallen for someone else. At least we could preserve some dignity. But she repeatedly denied any relationship with Yang Zhong, even vowing to clear her name as proof of innocence. I believed her, never expecting things would come to this. When Mingzhou saw me, she quickly disentangled herself from Yang Zhong's side, panic flashing in her eyes. Yet instead of explaining, she furious, sly accused. "Lin Mu, you followed me here on purpose, didn't you? Let's stick to facts." I pointed at the table spread with dishes and wine. "I had a business meeting scheduled here with a client. We've already been here for nearly an hour. Do you really think someone stalking you would arrive first and wait here instead?" Manager Liu beside me quickly chimed in. "Exactly, Manager Ming. Mr. Lin and I came early. We just sat down not long ago." Though he looked somewhat awkward, his eyes held a hint of glee. He probably hoped my impending divorce would push me to join their company. "What's it to you? Who gave you the right to meddle?" Yang Zhong barked at Liu, then turned to Ming Jiao. "Ming Jia, Lin Mu must have found out days ago that you'd come here. He even knows your favorite private room. He specifically chose this time to ambush you and humiliate you. Lin Mu, you've gone too far. How despicable." After hearing their words, Ming Jiao pointed at me and said, "I've told you countless times, there's absolutely nothing between me and Yang Zhong. You simply refuse to believe a single word I say." The Mr. Liu present had a darkened face, his eyes turning icy cold. This veteran of foreign trade had fought his way up from the grassroots, having navigated chaotic overseas markets for years. I pressed down on Mr. Liu's hand that was about to rise in protest. After nodding, I stood and walked towards Ming Jiao and Yang Zhong. "What's with the aggressive approach?" Yang Zhong jabbed a finger at me, shouting, "Feeling frustrated now that you've been exposed? You still don't trust me?" Ming Jiao fixed her gaze on me as she asked this question. Even at this critical juncture, she still had the nerve to ask about trust? Trust isn't the main issue here. I loosened my tie, staring coldly at my adversaries. "The crucial point is, you need to apologize to Mr. Liu right now." "Me? Apologize?" Yang Zhong sneered coldly. "I'm Sister Ming's executive assistant, and he's just a client under some small sales manager of yours. How dare he expect me to apologize?" "I'll make you apologize." I nodded sharply, suddenly grabbing Yang Zhong's hair and flinging him away with one forceful motion. Before he could regain balance, I kicked the back of his knee, forcing him to kneel before Manager Liu. Shattering a wine bottle, I pressed the jagged edge against Yang Zhong's face. "Last chance, apologize or I'll end you." "I'm sorry. Forgive me, Manager Liu." Tears streamed down Yang Zhong's face as a dark stain spread across his trousers. Without uttering a word, Manager Liu stood and straightened his suit. Giving me an approving look, he said, "Mr. Lin, my offer remains open. Contact me anytime you need." Now handle your domestic affairs." With that, he departed. "Ah!" Ming Jiao screamed, swiftly running over to help Yang Zhong up. She glared at me furiously and shouted, "Lin Mu, have you lost your mind? How could you hit Yang Zhong? Even if you're jealous, there's a limit." "Jealous?" I remained seated in the chair, leisurely wiping my hands with a napkin as I replied, "Ming Jiao, you're mistaken. It's not jealousy. I hit him because he offended my client. Every customer is crucial to me. Their interests must be protected. That's all." At this moment, there wasn't a ripple of emotion in my heart. Had I stopped loving Ming Jiao? Not exactly. Otherwise, why would I have worked so hard to build my career only to make her CEO, so others would respect her? But I'm also a rational person. When discovering infidelity in marriage, I make immediate decisions. "How can you not care at all?" Ming Jiao asked with utter bewilderment splashed across her face. I looked at her coldly and said, "When you were as pure as the moon, I loved you so deeply. But once tainted, you become nothing but filth in the mud in my eyes, incapable of evoking any emotional response." "You're calling me mud filth? Or perhaps the truth is you've stopped loving me?" Her eyes filled with terror. Lighting a cigarette and crossing my legs, I stated, "After 7 years together, don't you understand me yet? I get irritated when my brother borrows my clothes a few times. You think I could accept a woman who's been touched by another man?" Having said this, I rose to leave. I wasn't touched by anyone. Ming Jiao rushed over and embraced me. "Hubby, it's really not what you think. My relationship with Yang Zhong is completely proper. We just drank a little and got tipsy, so he helped steady me." I furrowed my brow with disgust evident on my face, the cigarette slipping from my fingers to accidentally scorch her hand, causing her to release me instantly from the pain. "What else is there to say when you were clinging to him? Have you ever seen me let any woman lay a finger on me even once during all those business dinners where I got drunk?" With a sneer, I told her, "I'll have the lawyer draw up the divorce papers. Let's end it here." "No, I don't want a divorce." Ming Jiao burst into sobs, but didn't have the courage to chase after me. Yang Zhong quickly came over to comfort her. "Don't be afraid, Sister Ming. You're the top executive here. If anyone dares misbehave, just fire them directly. That scum relying on you for survival isn't worth fearing at all." Before returning to the company, I made calls to several shareholders. Upon entering the office, I noticed my colleagues' looks weren't quite right. I didn't pay much attention and headed straight to my office. Yang Shun, Deputy General Manager of the Sales Department, hurried in and thrust his phone in front of me. It turned out that in the company's main group chat, Yang Zhong had everyone with a message: "Sales Department Manager Lin Mu has been fired." No wonder the colleagues were giving strange looks. Now everything made sense. "Bro, who exactly is in charge of this company?" Yang Shun looked particularly displeased. "The company was doing fine, but your wife has thrown it into chaos. Now the whole company is talking about how you're wearing a tight green hat, while Yang Zhong is swaggering around acting powerful. If this continues, I'm considering withdrawing my stake. I know how to handle this. You can go back first," I said, waving my hand to dismiss him. Yang Shun still looked uneasy. "If you're feeling upset, I can accompany you for a drink to vent your worries. Why should I punish myself with alcohol when I've done nothing wrong?" I comforted him with a smile. "Don't worry, I can resolve this. Besides, I already spoke with your father on my way back." Yang Shun nodded and left. At the door, he added, "Peach has returned from abroad. I think you two are actually quite compatible." I didn't respond to him, focusing solely on my work. After finishing, I had the driver take me home. As soon as I entered, the aroma of cooked food wafted over me. Ming Jiao's voice came from the kitchen. "Is that you, honey? Welcome back. Go wash your hands. There's your favorite dishes." But I spotted someone else's shoes at the entrance. Needless to say, they belonged to Yang Zhong. Has she lost her mind? How dare she bring Yang Zhong back here again? After changing shoes, I walked into the kitchen and indeed saw Yang Zhong holding a piece of meat, feeding it to Ming Jiao. She looked as if she was in love, smiling brightly. Honey." Ming Jiao panicked when she saw me. "Don't misunderstand. I was just tasting the seasoning." He helped because my hands were full. No need to explain. I pulled out a document from my bag. "Sign this. We'll file for divorce tomorrow." Ming Jiao stared at me in shock. "Is this really necessary?" Yang Zhong shouted beside her. "Lin, how can you be so shameless? My sister even humbled herself to cook for you. What more do you want? I've already come to your door to apologize. What more do you want? Let me tell you, don't be ungrateful." Yang Zhong pointed at me fiercely. Hearing this, I couldn't help but laugh. I took off my jacket, calmly removed my watch, and loosened my tie as I asked, "You call this a personal apology? How precious do you think this apology is to me? Who do you think you are? Just an assistant president acting all high and mighty? But I'm merely a lowly sales manager. If it weren't for your sister's connection, I might not even have the chance to speak with you." Before he finished speaking, Yang Zhong lunged at me. But I easily kicked him away, yet he charged again. This time more aggressively. grabbing my arm and threatening in a low voice. Go ahead and hit me. The more you do this, the more Ming Jio will despise you. When we divorce, you can just watch as she falls into my arms. I chuckled and Ly patted his shoulder, saying, Little brother, have you been watching too many TV dramas? Do you think this kind of marital alliance game is child's play? Yang Zhong completely failed to comprehend my meaning. Shaking my head, I calmly stated, Since that's the case, let's gather everyone for a group discussion. Before long, Ming Jio arrived with her family. Mr. and Mrs. Ming had actually always treated me well. Although I came from humble origins, through my own efforts, I've now attained a prominent position in society. All my achievements were earned through my own struggle, unrelated to the Ming family. For this very reason, Mr. and Mrs. Ming consistently supported me. Xiaomu, what's all this about? Mr. Ming asked while wringing his hands, visibly agitated after hearing rumors about the divorce. Pointing at Ming Jio and Yang Zhong, I declared, they've been carrying on together. This Yang Zhong deliberately provoked me earlier, trying to make me lose face in front of Ming Jio to push her toward divorcing me, so he can take my place. Hearing this, Ming's father's face instantly darkened. Ming's mother pointed angrily at Yang Zhong and cursed. You scum! How dare you use such underhanded methods to climb up? You're utterly unworthy. Ming's father gritted his teeth. I'd rather disown my daughter than let you set foot in the Ming family. At this moment, Ming Feng arrived. He's my younger brother-in-law. He looked like he already knew everything about the matter. With a frosty expression, he said to me, Brother-in-law, let me handle this. I'll make sure he disappears. Jio, why aren't you saying anything? Yang Zhong was terrified, never expecting the Ming family to protect me so fiercely. Ming Jio ignored him, just weeping and begging me. Husband, I was really wrong. Please give me another chance. Yang Zhong rushed to defend himself. I won't accept this. Lin Mu and I both come from ordinary backgrounds. Why were you accepted by the Ming family when I can't be? Listen carefully. Ming Feng said mercilessly. My brother-in-law started his own business in university. Even when his ventures were small back then, he never once asked for help from our Ming family. Later, when his career expanded, he even gave up the CEO position to my sister just to preserve her dignity. How much effort do you think he's put into his journey? And you? What qualifications do you have to shout here? Do you think hooking up with a married woman is your ticket to climbing the ladder? Ming Feng sneered and delivered the final blow. Let me tell you something even more crushing. Even if my foolish sister actually married you, everything from the Ming family would still be beyond your reach. Remember, I'm the true heir. Yang Zhong looked devastated while Ming Jio remained silent beside him. I told him, no matter where they are, incompetent opportunists will always be trashed. I then reaffirmed my stance to the Ming family. This marriage must end in divorce. Though everyone was distressed, we first arranged temporary accommodation for Ming Jio. It was clear Ming Jio never intended things to go this far either, but realizing her mistakes now was too late. As for whether I'll feel sad or heartbroken, years of affection are certainly hard to let go, but I will absolutely not torture myself over it. After resting through the night, I arrived at the company early the next morning. Someone informed me that Ming Jio had convened a board meeting and asked me to go to the conference room. What is she planning? Upon entering the room, I found Yang Zhong boldly sitting in my original seat. The shareholders' gazes held hints of strangeness. I casually took a seat and stared straight at Ming Jio in the center. What do you intend to do? Ming Jio glared at me with an ashen face. Lin Mu, you have two choices. Leave this place immediately or continue being my husband. Divorce, I answered without hesitation. Ming Jio's delicate frame trembled slightly with rage, but she forced out, very well. I hereby officially announce your removal from all positions at Kuiyuan Trading. Yang Zhong sneered provocatively at me. Lin Mu, even if you get nothing from the Ming family, this company will have a share for me in the future. You have a share too? Who do you think you are? I casually glanced at him and said, do you really think Ming Jio would marry you? Yang Zhong appeared confidently and self-assuredly, as if everything was under his control. But Ming Jio said coldly to him, I've told you, our relationship is strictly that of superior and subordinate. Don't entertain any illusions. Ming Jio, how could you say that? Yang Zhong seemed on the verge of a breakdown. Ming Jio stated expressionlessly, even if something had happened between us, though nothing has occurred, even if I were divorced from Lin Mu, I would never choose someone like you. What kind of person am I? Yang Zhong froze momentarily. Don't you just want to climb the ladder through women? Ming Jio fixed her gaze on him. I treated you well only because Lin Mu lost his former passion for me. I just wanted to make him jealous. Yesterday's visit to the club was intentional. I knew Lin Mu would be there, so I deliberately went there to let you hold me. Normally, I avoid you. You? Yang Zhong seemed completely defeated, utterly at a loss. Ming Jio turned to look at me and said, Husband, I truly have no relationship with him. I just wanted to provoke you. I know this went too far, but you should understand how much I love you. Give me another chance. Let's get divorced. I looked at her calmly, without any emotional fluctuation. Once I make a decision, I never change my mind. And to be honest, I feel disgusted, even if it was all an act. But the fact that she was embraced by Yang Zhong is unforgivable. Everyone has their bottom line, and she's already crossed mine. Lin Mu, if you insist on divorce, I'll fire you. You built this company with your own hands. I know exactly how much it means to you, Mingjiu said. I shook my head and smiled bitterly. You're the CEO, but I hold 65% of the company's shares. I'm the real owner here. You're nothing. This. Mingjiu froze, as if suddenly remembering this fact. Originally, I wanted to give her half of the shares, but the shareholders opposed it. Why? Because the Ming family was too powerful. If Mingjiu possessed substantial shares and remained the legal representative, she could increase capital at any time to dilute other shareholders' equity, which would cause them massive losses. As for me, the shareholders trusted me. From the startup days, they had been the initial investors and naturally understood my character. They had no confidence in the Ming family, a massive yet purely profit-driven commercial clan. Hence, the shares had always remained under my control. I pointed at the conference room door and said, "All right, all your positions have been revoked. Leave now and don't interfere with our meeting." Mingjiu stared at me with dazed helplessness, speechless as she collapsed into her chair. I then glanced at Yang Zhong and asked, "Young man, do you understand the rules of high society now?" Yang Zhong's mouth opened and closed, rendered speechless for a long moment. Ignoring them both, I summoned security to evict everyone. As the board meeting adjourned, shareholders left one after another with smiles. But within the company, the atmosphere wasn't nearly so relaxed. There lingered a restive undercurrent, as if minds were drifting adrift. I inquired around and learned that rumors were quietly circulating. It was said that the Ming family was the company's largest shareholder, and now they wanted to withdraw their investment, making some worry the company might collapse. Regarding these claims, the company's middle and upper management knew the truth of the matter, but they didn't elaborate. Frontline employees, unaware of the internal affairs, began believing these whispers. Some remained uncertain, yet felt the ground trembling beneath their feet, fearing for their jobs. I had Yang Shun investigate the source. It turned out to be orchestrated by Mingjiu's subordinates. As the CEO, after all, it wasn't difficult for her to plant a few loyalists within the company. However, these individuals held no real authority normally, and I'd never paid them much attention before. Moreover, I'd always trusted Mingjiu completely, never suspecting her of such actions. Yet their synchronized moves now were indeed causing me trouble. Fortunately, these were peripheral figures. Removing them outright resolved the issue without causing actual damage to the company. The company soon issued a public notice explaining the situation, clarifying my position as the actual controller of the company, and the employees' anxiety gradually subsided. Sitting at my desk, I couldn't shake off a vague sense of loss. Numerous photos of Mingjiu and me were arranged on the desktop, most being memories from our university days. After taking a deep breath, I wanted to have someone remove all these photos. Just then, I discovered a notebook. When I opened it, inside were unmistakably Mingjiu's handwriting. Though the content was sparse, every sentence made my heart ache. Xiao Mu has become particularly busy these days. We haven't watched a movie together in so long. Career isn't really that important anyway. Our savings could already sustain us for the rest of our lives. A new exuberantly dressed intern actually tried to flirt with me. How interesting. I might use this to tease Xiao Mu. Making him jealous could be fun. I didn't continue reading, gently closing the diary. While my convictions remained firm, an undeniable pang of regret lingered in my chest. She must have forgotten my promise to earn enough money before turning 40 and retire, taking her to travel around the world. That's why I've been working so hard all this time. Knocking at the door interrupted my thoughts. Tao Tao entered. She's Yang Shun's younger sister, 5 years my junior. I remember her drunken confession at her coming-of-age ceremony. Brother Nian, I know I won't interfere with your relationship with Sister Ming, but this is my first time liking someone. I'd regret it forever if I didn't say it. Please don't feel pressured anyway. I'm going abroad soon. I appreciated her candor. There was no awkwardness between us. Having not seen her for years, she had grown even more stunningly beautiful. Tao Tao spoke somewhat hesitantly. Brother Nian, my brother said I could come assist you. I nodded in response. Then have people tidy up here first. Move my belongings over. As for these photos, dispose of them. I left the company shortly after. Returning home, I had people pack up all of Mingjiu's belongings. Yet every corner of this house carried her shadow. The cute toothbrush, loose pajamas, kitchenware she personally selected. Even the refrigerator still bore the sticky notes she left. Her elegant handwriting filled them with repeated declarations of love. Guilin, should I really give her another chance? Hesitation tugged at my heart. At that moment, my phone buzzed. Yang Shun had sent a photo. On the beach, Ming Jiao lay face down while Yang Zhong applied sunscreen on her back. This was followed by a short video. After watching the video, I cursed myself harshly as an idiot. Just moments ago, I was actually hesitating. At that very moment, Ming Jiao and Yang Zhong arrived again. Yang Zhong was shirtless and carrying a bundle of thorny branches. He knelt down in front of me the moment he entered. President Liu, I've come to seek forgiveness. I wanted to climb the ranks through President Ming, but she never gave me a chance. Now I've lost everything. But as a human being, I must have conscience. Please forgive Ming Jiao. After speaking, Yang Zhong kept kowtowing on the ground. Ming Jiao cried and said, Husband, I was really wrong. Give me another chance. I pretended not to see this and turned off my phone. Let's get divorced. That's for the best. I said. Ming Jiao shook her head. Husband, I won't divorce. Even if you don't forgive me, give our child a chance. I'm pregnant, and it's your child. Really not going to divorce? I asked. Ming Jiao nodded. I also nodded and said, then let it be like this. We won't divorce. Yang Zhong immediately declared, Manager Liu, I won't appear in your lives again. After saying that, he ran away. Ming Jiao was so moved that she burst into tears. I didn't say anything. Had people stop and put things back in place. Ming Jiao immediately went to cook. Halfway through the preparations, I was about to leave. Where are you going, husband? She asked pleadingly. I glanced at her. Huanyan has returned to China and invited me to dinner. Eat by yourself. But she likes you. Shouldn't you avoid seeing her? Ming Jiao said urgently. I looked at her and asked, either leave me alone or get a divorce. You choose. I don't care what you do. I believe in you. She said resignedly. I nodded without saying a word and left. Indeed, Tao Tao and I really had plans. We went to the street food stall outside our high school. Heavy, oily, and spicy food combined with ice-cold beer. We ended up with severe stomachaches before finishing the meal. The stall only had one restroom, so we had to take turns going. By the time we came out, we were completely exhausted. Tao Tao in her white dress sighed. Nianji, this isn't romantic at all. I nodded in agreement. The owner just asked me why I was making fried eggplant boxes in the toilet. Fried eggplant boxes? You know that sound. Tao Tao blushed, but couldn't help laughing. Too tired to walk, I called a car to send her home. Yang Shun kept me there, suggesting we have a couple more drinks. After taking some medicine, we continued drinking and chatting. Soon Tao Tao joined us too. Brother, how's the cooperation with Director Liu going? Yang Shun asked with a smile. I nodded. He and I have a close relationship. Last year when he faced equipment shortages and security supplies, I connected him with domestic channels, which averted a crisis. So there's no issue with the partnership. This deal alone could sustain our company for 3 years. Yang Shun smiled, then changed the subject. Work ma. Ters don't worry me. But how will you resolve your marriage? I smiled but didn't say anything. Tao Tao kicked him under the table, and only then did Yang Shun speak. I've already decided you're going to be my brother-in-law. What do you plan to do about it? Brother, you're talking nonsense. Tao Tao pretended to be shy but couldn't hold back a laugh. Yang Shun glared at her, then turned to me. This girl hasn't forgotten you since the day she met you. All these years, she's never dated anyone. It's like that saying. Her persistence finally paid off. Consider it properly. I nodded. Let's take it slow. We'll spend some time together first before deciding anything. After spending over half a month together, Tao Tao and I officially became a couple. Because she was too proactive and enthusiastic, I found it somewhat overwhelming. However, I hadn't divorced Ming Jiao yet. I still went home occasionally, sometimes bringing Tao Tao with me. When Ming Jiao saw this situation, she didn't make a scene, only shedding silent tears by herself. As her pregnancy advanced month by month, my visits home became increasingly less frequent. Later, Ming Feng came to see me several times. Although he usually saved face for me, after all he was Ming Jiao/S brother. His exact words were, brother-in-law, my sister could tolerate you having a girlfriend outside. But now she/S about to give birth, and you still want/T come back to take care of her. ISN/T this going too far? I didn't/T respond directly, just clumsily deflected the conversation. Though the Ming family had strong influence, my company had now grown substantially too, so they wouldn't/T readily do anything extreme. Only after Ming Jiao gave birth did I finally bring Tao Tao to the postpartum recovery center. The Ming family no longer treated me with their previous friendliness, though at least we hadn't/T openly fallen out yet. Ming Jiao lay on the hospital bed, looking at me bitterly and said, Husband, look at our child. This isn't my child. Why should I look? I retorted coldly. Ming Jiao froze for a moment, then burst into tears. Husband, what do you mean by that? I've never been with any man except you. How could this not be your child? Ming Jiao, I've already told you. Divorce is the best outcome. But since you've chosen to use such tactics against me now, don't blame me for showing no mercy. I took out my phone, opened a video from it, and placed it on the hospital bed. The surrounding people crowded over, then saw the awkward scene between Ming Jiao and Yang Zhong in the video. Judging by the timing, there's no way this child could be mine. I sneered again. Old Ming asked through gritted teeth. Then why didn't you clarify this earlier? It's her own fault for not wanting to save face. I gave her a chance to turn over a new leaf. I played another video clip and said, take a good look at this. A voice from the footage spoke. Sister, once we have a child, we'll pin everything on Lin Mu. After the baby is born, we'll drug him and let him waste away slowly. Then all the company's assets will belong to us. Lin Mu shrewd. This plan might not fool him for long. Then what's the best course of action? We need to find a way and prepare some things first, like old photos or notes, to make him believe I'm sincere toward him. After closing the video, I looked at Ming Jiao, who had turned pale, and asked, actually, I'm also very curious. How did you end up with Yang Zhong? After uttering a few bitter laughs in despair, Ming Jiao sighed and replied, it was wrong from the start, and each subsequent step only led to more errors. Initially, he forcibly administered drugs to me and recorded videos to blackmail me. Since then, I've been under his control. My family members all sided with you, even warning me that I wouldn't be allowed back into the Ming family if I divorced. So I had no choice but to comply. Including during that board meeting, you were still acting, I said. Ming Jiao nodded in acknowledgement. I turned to the Ming family and said, I'm breaking up with Ming Jiao. Any objections? They remained silent, though their seething resentment toward me was palpable. In their view, I should have publicly revealed the evidence earlier. Why? Whoever dares to mess with me must face dire consequences. We swiftly completed the divorce procedure soon after. Not long thereafter, the Ming family quietly attempted to encroach upon my business interests. Consequently, Mr. Liu and I collaborated to set a trap that not only cost the Ming family substantial wealth, but also initiated gradual erosion of their industries. As for Yang Zhong, he became entangled in this operation and was ultimately imprisoned abroad, subjected to relentless torment. Though spared death, his existence became excruciatingly arduous, marked by daily suffering. Within just half a year, the entire Ming family collapsed spectacularly. Ming Jiao, utterly bereft of hope, ultimately committed suicide. Right before her death, she called me, claiming that she too was one of the victims. Had she not been forced to take drugs back then, things would never have escalated to this state. I did not respond, because if she herself hadn't given others a foothold, how could anyone have targeted her? At the end of the same year, Tao Tao and I officially